I already feel like I made a mistake. And I hate this so fucking much. I have not filmed since February and it is currently April. So here we are. Hi, I hope you didn't miss me too much with reading vlogs. Now we can get into the purpose of this video. I'm assuming the title might be something alluding to what this is. I am 3 books. That's it, 3 books away from my reading goal. My reading goal for this year was only 30 books, so I am definitely going to hit it this month. I haven't read anything in the first 2 weeks. I mean, it's already the 10th. So the first 10 days of the month, I have not read anything. I was just chilling. And I know it's not super impressive. It's not like I'm hitting 100 books or anything, but still, something about it has me like, oh my god, I don't know what to read. This vlog is going to be me reading those last 3 books and hitting that goal. I might even try and throw in an audiobook if I can get one. I have quite a few holds on Libby, so we will see if any of them come through while I'm doing this. I already feel like I made a mistake. Let me not say that. We'll be counting a DNF in this. I don't even want to lift up the book because I feel like something is wrong with me. I'm making this so dramatic, but like, I'm currently I read the first chapter of this. Listen, we gotta talk. Come a little closer. So I started this book last night. I was thinking I'm gonna try and get like a good head start on this so that when we start this vlog, you know, maybe it'll be like, I'll be like close to halfway. I thought I was gonna breeze through this. I read the first chapter of this and I started annotating it, which honestly, looking back, I probably shouldn't have. And I know I constantly come into this where it's like, don't annotate books until you reach at least, I don't know, 20 pages the first chapter. I know people are like, oh, you should get the transparent post-its, but I did not expect me to see Talia Hibbert, this cover this book, and be sitting here struggling. It took me an hour to read the first chapter because I kept putting the book down after like every page. Book starts off, right? And at first I'm reading it and it kind of starts off on a really weird note to me. And it's talking about like the conspiracy that Juice WRLD is still alive. To me, that was kind of an odd note to start this story on. Not only the fact that like it's a conspiracy theory, but also just that it's conspiracy theory about like someone still being alive. I feel like if you would have said Tupac or like Elvis or someone like that, it's very, very far removed, maybe I would have been like, sure, okay. But I feel like, and it's not even that I was like a super big fan of Juice WRLD, so maybe I'm just like feeling odd about this. I don't know why. Maybe that's just weird for me to feel odd about. Maybe if this came up in like chapter 4, I wouldn't have been like fazed by it, but this is just such an odd way to start the conversations and just kind of the way that they're moving through. I swear I have read Wattpad stories in the past that sound just like this, and I'm just like, why? What? Nothing about this is making me want to continue. It's not really engaging me in the way that I expected it to, which is so unfortunate, and that's why I'm sitting here like, chapter 5 is literally page 84. Like, I have to read all of that. I'm already turned off. And I hate this so fucking much, because did I ever in my life believe that I would be sitting here talking to you about Talia Hibbert book after I sit here and I raved about I need to reread the Brown Sisters trilogy. Even people I follow who are like harsher critics gave it 5 stars. Like, why is this happening to me? I really thought that starting this would be like that quick book to start this video off, but unfortunately I'm telling you that like I'm really considering DNFing this after a chapter. We're gonna try and read chapter 2. We're gonna try, and if I still feel like I am not getting into it in chapter 2, you know, this is not how I thought this would go. I read up to page 62. If you can even count it reading, I was really like skimming after a while because I just did not give a damn. Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong? But I just did not like this. I have to be tripping. I was so looking forward to this because I'm like, this is Talia Hibbert's first YA book. Like, I am looking forward to this. Like, I want to read everything she writes. Like, I'm flabbergasted. Like, did they really even hate each other? Like, they're talking about being enemies, but like, it seems like by the time I even got to this point, October, well, I don't even need these tabs in here anymore. They're already friends again. I jerk in my seat, appalled that he would have the gall to speak to me so casually. For God's sakes, we are enemies. There are rules to this sort of thing. He's not supposed to address me unless he's calling me a know-it-all or challenging me to a duel. Oh my gosh, is this a skit? I'm just gonna DNF it because I am not going to sit here and try and pretend like I am enjoying this. And I feel like if I read it anymore, I am never going to read another Talia Hibbert book ever again. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I told my friend, she was texting me, I told her that she could pick out my next book that I read. She picked them based on cover. This could go good or bad. She picked The Shadow Between Us, okay? And she picked 14 Ways to Die, which has been one that I have been trying to read this book for a very, very long time. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I asked my friend to pick out 2 books for me to read. The first one she picked out, I don't own it. It's in the library and it would take a few weeks for me to be able to get it from Libby. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. And I decided to read 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. I have never seen anyone else talk about this book. I mean, I'm sure there have been people, but personally me, I haven't seen it mentioned on YouTube. I haven't seen it mentioned on TikTok. I just saw the cover, skimmed the back, read the tagline, which is, you have to murder at least 3 people to be called a serial killer. The Magpie Man is looking for his 14th victim. And so I was just like, I'm sold. I'm gonna read this. And I did. And I flew through this, which is honestly so great to see, because after the Talia Hibbert thing, I thought maybe I'm in a reading slump. Maybe me taking the first week off of April, not reading anything, was not good. It also probably helped that these chapters are insanely short. The chapters are like 1 page or like a little bit more. As you can see, they're short overall. I really liked this book. I think it was just a really fun thing. It's about Jessica. Her mother was murdered when she was 7 years old in a little alleyway that was near their house. And how many years later? 10 years later, she gets an opportunity to be in this web show competition thing, and she wants to use that platform to bring attention back to her mother's story, knowing that this guy is going to murder again, and she wanted to make sure that like she brought attention to it. It was a rush. Some of it I guess did seem realistic, some of it seemed very unrealistic, some of it just didn't, you know, some of it was very like, this is fiction. I mean, I guess it could happen, but like, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of felt like, okay, I'm gonna let it pass just because we're moving so quickly through the story. But I feel like if I was thinking about this more critically and it was like a book that made me not fly through the chapters, you know, I think that really helped in the fast-paced feel of it. I probably would have more critiques of it, but I really liked it. I think that it had a lot of things that ended up contributing to figuring out who it was that I totally just over my head. And so it's really cool to like think back on it and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a sign. Like, duh, that's like one of the first things you should look for, you know, in these types of stories. And I was like, obviously. But I think that the author did a really great job of like kind of introducing clues and stuff without it feeling so obvious. I do need to read my classic of the month, which would be, I think I'm going to do Alice in Wonderland, and I already have the audiobook for that off of Audible because it's like free on there. And Scarlett Johansson is the narrator for it, which I think is kind of cool, but it's only 2 hours long. So I could knock that out in like an hour at 2.5 something speed. So that might be my 30th read. I've never read Alice in Wonderland, at least not from my memory, and I don't remember always loving the cartoon movie. I know I had the VHS when I was younger, but I don't think it was one that I watched very often. So like, I know what Alice in Wonderland is about, but I don't remember ever being like super obsessed with the story. I know there are a lot of people who are super into Alice in Wonderland as their favorite like classic or like, you know, Disney story tale adjacent story, but I just was never into it, so I'm really curious, and it's short, so I feel like that's great. Reaching 30 books is going to be very interesting, but I feel like even though I don't have the stats for this, if I had to guesstimate with my own math skills, I would say that I think I always hit 30 books around March or April, depending on how fast I'm moving, because the past few years, I think I always hit 50 books around June, which would make sense that I probably hit 30 books around March or April on average, depending on what I'm reading. So I think I'm honestly still on track. It's just that I made my GoodReads goal 30, so I'm gonna feel like a boss before that, which is great.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Written by Lewis Carroll. Performed by Scarlett Johansson.
Chapter 1. Down the rabbit hole.
I finished it. It is back at the opening credits, and so that means we, yes us, because you know, teamwork makes the dream work, okay, we reached 30 books read this year. Putting it into GoodReads. I'm so excited. Like, we reached our goal. Wait, I have to think about what I want to rate this book. I know. I think I want to give this, I think I want to give it 3 stars because I liked it, but I don't know. I still don't think I was really that moved by it. Okay. Oh my god, I did it! Yay! It's so good. It's so good. I completed my reading challenge. We love that. For me, here, we made it, and I feel so much better now that I got to the end and I got my classic out of the way early this month. So be sure to follow me on GoodReads. Let's be friends so you can see what other books I'm going to be reading this year that aren't going to be featured in reading vlogs. 30 books read. GoodReads goal is done. Now we can get into all of the shenanigans for the rest of the year. Yeah. Thumbs up, comments, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Dreams, baby. What can I do when a million